on it, Alan, but I want to walk through with each one of these gentlemen here basically what they consider the store walk best practices they've developed over time, so that when you go back to your stores after this conference, take their advice and see where we can improve.
I sent these to Andrew a couple of weeks ago, but I was interested, for those that saw Harold White this morning, one of the first things that he talked about was really the walk begins outside the store. And for anybody that saw his presentation, I was amused to see that there, because that's the way we look at it too. The customer's impression is really set before they get into your store. It's the shopping experience they're going to have. I always try to tell our store directors to walk their stores backwards. One of the things on our 3-star assessment is a 10-tile rule, and probably everybody in the room practices it, but you can really get face-to-face when you're walking backwards and meeting that traffic flow coming head-on. So I do that. I know that doesn't have anything to do with conditions, but I like to meet the customers face-to-face. The gap, when I talked a little bit ago about the gap between our starting team and our second stringers, so to speak, I will intentionally go in when I know our store directors are off that day or gone for the evening or whatever the case may be, and take a growth associate or an assistant or a supervisor with me to help walk the store. We recently gave a promotion to a new store director, and it was interesting because she said to me, when you come in the store, I really want to walk with you. I want to see what you see, and it was refreshing. And we've done 4 or 5 store walks with her now in the last month since she's been there, and it's really a great experience for them, because they see the detail. Talking with customers, that's one of the things that I believe is just critical. Your customer will tell you everything about your store if you'll let them. They want to talk to you. They want to tell you how great you are, and they want to tell you where you're really falling short. So I enjoy engaging with the customers. We are constantly on the lookout for growth associates and problem associates. So I'll, in my store walk, I'll just really watch for opportunities to see an individual that might offer an opportunity to grow in our organization. We have an understanding, if you will, kind of a standard at 9 o'clock is our goal book. And the thing that's kind of amusing is I get called on it from time to time, because I'm kind of an early morning riser, and I'll find myself in a store at 7:30 or 8 o'clock and starting to be critical. And in a friendly and a humorous kind of a way, a store director may say to me, "Al, is it 9 o'clock yet?" And I'll say, "No, see you in an hour." So we, that's kind of my things. But anyway, that's kind of our standard.
I got to put down, I guess, some of the mistakes that I see that people make, but not asking the right questions, making the associates feel more comfortable with you to give you the information that you seek. But again, I go back to, because they get a kick out of it when you ask them what sucks around here. And I'm continuously amazed at the feedback that you get from, well, HR rolled this program out, and I didn't even know about it, but they give you enough information that you can go back and address things. Slowing down, a lot of people walk way too fast. I'm guilty of it too at times, because I want to get this, and this done today, and you end up doing a store walk in 35 minutes. It wasn't a good 35 minutes spent. So I try to get my people at least take an hour when they get to a store. An hour is the minimum. If you can't find something to do for an hour in there, I don't think you're looking at the right things. And when you're going too fast, you miss things. So a good example of that, I was just in a store last week, and the deli looked awesome. But they had their first, second, third fastest moving SKUs all touching each other. And that's, in my book, total merchandising faux pas. So within 10 minutes, they fixed it. They moved stuff back around. In our store, we have finger jello, which is the most profitable item. That item, and if I'm running the deli, is always going to be married up with my #1 item, my potato salad. They're right next to each other. So if I had been walking faster, there's no way you're going to pick up on those things unless you slow down. get the most out of everybody doing the walks. It's kind of our mantra as of late. And again, our company's growing fast, so we've needed to get more out of everybody when they get to stores. And then set goals, I guess, know why you're going to the store. Is it, profit, standards, execution? Are there people that you're going there to coach? I mean, there should be certain goals every single time that you get to a store.
All right. And then lastly, back over to Mark.
Well, I think deciding what kind of store walk you're going to do is really where it begins, because, you can't look at everything, right? I mean, there's just so much. It's kind of like trying to boil the ocean. We turn the heat up and fill the kettle with water, and it just boils and boils and boils, and we never get it all boiled. So are we doing a sales walk today? Are we doing a shrink and margin walk today? Are we looking at execution and conditions? What's the focus for today's walk? Really becomes valuable to everybody involved. The other part of it is I used to change that from store to store. So if I make 4 stores in a day, first store I do was a sales walk. Well, I know more than walk out the door, and you know what's happening, right? They're calling the 3 stores that are closest. What's he looking at today? So I'd walk in the next store, and they say, well, I'm ready, let's go. And I said, great, we're going to talk about margin shrink today. The guy looks at me and says, what? So, you keep them guessing that way. The other reason that we break it down that way is that there's more of a succinct focus on the things that matter most to that particular topic. And I think that's where we always, as grocers, everything's important, but what's important to this topic? And I think that helps us all. Walk the opposite direction. I'm a big believer in that too. Al mentioned it earlier. I think you get a completely different perspective on both what you see and what the customer sees by going left to right or whatever the reverse traffic flow is. Record as you go, and really this is not to me as much record as you go, because we're going to record it as we find it, but where you can fix it as you go. And that's why I say never walk alone, because it's a great opportunity to teach, to train, to mentor, and then you got somebody who can get the troops there to fix it if it's an easy fix while you move on and find the next things that are out there. So those things are important to me.